Sophie, the producer of our video, suggested I do a listicle video. He thought that this might be really connect with the audience and be very popular. So I thought that's a great idea, and I'm going to do that right now. So I'll be talking about top 5 facts about listicles you need to know. Number 5, fear of missing out exploitation. Often listicles don't really contain anything new. Not even much that is of special interest. It's basically just an attention-grabbing format for sharing more or less useless information. It's a waste of time. Why does it work? Because it has an addictive climatic design. You're tricked into watching something until the end because you think it's going to lead to some sort of climax. But it's mostly a hoax. There isn't really such a climax. So it suggests that you need to know about whatever 5 top things, and especially then, of course, the number 1 that comes at the end. And simply put, this just exploits the now well-known fear of missing out syndrome. So please, if you want to get rid of your fear of missing out syndrome, stop watching listicles now. 4, fake hierarchies. Typically, there are no clear criteria for the rankings in the listicles. The hierarchy is mostly just completely arbitrary. And yet it seems, because you watch it on media, that there is something objective about it. So what these listicles do, they establish a sort of better-worse pattern where there's no good reason at all for such a pattern. So it makes you perceive reality in the form of fake hierarchies. Do not let listicles make you adopt a listed way of perceiving the world. Number 3, cultivation of prejudice. Listicles function like rating and ranking mechanisms that have been established everywhere. University rankings, rating agencies in the finance industry, personal ranking systems in service industry like Uber drivers, Airbnb hosts, and so forth. You can't even go to university nowadays that is not already prejudiced through its ranking. You can't go to a restaurant and simply taste the food anymore because you're judging it in terms of the rankings you've seen. And listicles represent just a simple form of creating such prejudice. Like rating and ranking systems, listicles are an instrument of cultivating and spreading prejudice. 2, judgmentality. So listicles function like rating and ranking mechanisms that shift attention away from what is judged to those who judge it. And a new kind of celebrities is created in this way. Those who have very little talent themselves, but succeed at appointing themselves as judges of talent, simply due to their often very ruthless, judgmental attitude and their mean behavior. Just like 2 archetypes for this. One in pop culture, Simon Cowell, the famous host of the American Idol show. And then in philosophy, my kind of sphere, you might have heard of him. It's Brian Leiter, who became famous through the so-called Leiter Report, which listed everyone and everything in philosophy. So this kind of judge then can become like super powerful in the respective fields, more powerful than the actual creators. And that results in a lot of fear and anxiety, how to please these judges. So, importantly, listicles foster a kind of pervasive judge mentality. Number 1, the KOL craze. Listings are not just about that which is listed, as we just saw. They're also about, to a great extent, the listers themselves. Now, today, most of the kids in school, if I can trust my niece who is a teacher, want to become influencers. And listers is just a kind of influencers. I think a better term even for influencers is KOL, key opinion leaders. And I just want to explain how they function with a quote from the TV show Girls, where the character Hannah says in Season 6, Episode 1, "The other thing about me is that I give 0 fucks about anything. Yet I have a strong opinion about everything, even topics I'm not informed on." And this is kind of the principles of how most listicles functions as well. They kind of represent this kind of new ideal of, you could call it maybe, idiot Democrats. Everyone desires to be heard and seen constantly. People feel they are entitled to have strong opinions on things they know little about. It's the being seen that counts most, the profile building. So please, don't wish to be a lister. Please, do not watch listicles. And please never post any listicles on social media.